What have you become?
I am what you made me.
It was always going to be difficult to create jeopardy in a story where we know the fates of almost all the characters before pressing play on its first episode. Drama doesn't always have to rely on the most ultimate of sacrifices though, and Disney Plus's Obi-Wan Kenobi series knows this, spending less time manufacturing predetermined peril and more teaching us about our heroes. In this case, it really isn't about the destination, but the friends and enemies made along the way. The series works best in its opening episodes when presenting itself as a character study, reintroducing us to a world-weary Kenobi, settled into a hermit life we saw when we first met him in 1977.
Hello there.
It's a role Ewan McGregor seamlessly slips back into, wearing the emotional heart of the show on his chest. It's also in these early episodes we get the most time with Vivian Lyra Blair's endearing portrayal of a young Leia, who brings all the confidence, bordering on precociousness you'd hope for.
You don't need manners when you're talking to a lower life form.
Then I guess I don't need manners when I'm talking to you.
It's a testament that Obi-Wan Kenobi is not overly reliant on fan service or blink and you'll miss a cameos other Disney Plus shows have fallen foul to. Instead, it hones in on our love for existing heroes like Kenobi and Leia, granting us a deeper knowledge of their relationships. The series' two most engaging bonds exist between Obi-Wan and Leia and Obi-Wan and Vader. The former is where we learn the most about Kenobi, showing us the Jedi at his tenderest and full of the hope he represents to Leia, earning the strongest emotional responses. A melancholic conversation about family that takes place in the back of a cart during episode 3 is a particularly touching example.
Sometimes I try to imagine what he was like.
I know that feeling. As Jedi, we're taken from our families when we're very young.
It's these quiet moments that director Deborah Chow excels in, adding an extra dimension to the characters we thought we already knew so well. On the flip side, Obi-Wan's connection to Vader is one that fills him with regret, and there's still a part of him that feels Anakin is not a lost cause. It's this, combined with Vader's obsession with hunting down Kenobi, that drives much of the drama at the series' core. It's no coincidence, then, that the show is at its best when Vader is on screen. The hybrid performances of both Hayden Christensen and James Earl Jones add gravitas to the proceedings, and present Vader as menacing a presence as we've ever seen, displaying the sort of power teased to us in Rogue One. We don't necessarily learn more about Anakin over the course of the series, apart from reiterating the fact that he's a very angry man, but his presence crucially allows for Obi-Wan to grow as a character and rebuild himself as a Force. It all builds to a thrilling final episode that single-handedly makes the whole show feel worthwhile.
Have you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan?
I will do what I must.
As the focus drifts from these core relationships though, so does Chow's grasp on where it's heading. This leads to a couple of muddled episodes in the middle that feel more like underbaked homages to A New Hope's prison escape and The Last Jedi's crate-based siege. They embody the confusion Obi-Wan Kenobi has at its core, whether to be a show about the Jedi Master or about the Imperial Inquisition hunting him. It's a tug-of-war that never truly finds a winner. A fully realized Inquisition show could have been something fresh and exciting. Instead, what we get is an underwhelming arc for Reva. Feeling more like a third wheel than a third sister, Reva provides a substantial threat, especially across the series' first half, and Moses Ingram does a fantastic job of bringing her to life.
What is it you think you will gain by capturing him?
When I'm old.
Unfortunately, she's let down by a fairly predictable narrative arc, and given little time to flesh out her character. Ingram delivers in the moment she has to, though, and does well to create a worthy antagonist, considering her dialogue doesn't make as much of an impact as it could. In fact, this is an issue that plagues Obi-Wan Kenobi throughout, with the scripts feeling like they could have done with an extra 1 or 2 passes before making their way onto the screen, to smooth out some of the clunkiness that threatens to derail pivotal moments. The show's approach to action is similarly inconsistent. We're treated to exciting lightsaber duels, but also subjected to some laughable chase scenes. It's always tough to make a blaster fight interesting when virtually every shot needs to miss, but it really does take off whenever a lightsaber is lit. For a series that only consists of 6 episodes, it delivers its fair share of duels too. These are often the highlight of any episode and are expertly choreographed, hitting a sweet spot between the stoic tension of the original trilogy and the flashiness of the prequels. Again, it's no coincidence that these best moments coincide with Vader being let off his leash, wielding his fully developed Force powers with devastating brutality. Natalie Holt's score only adds to the weight of these encounters, weaving in refrains from familiar Star Wars themes. It works to good effect, even if we're left waiting for too long, and in some cases forever, for some of the more iconic pieces of music to kick in. It's yet another example of the show being nearly amazing, but not quite there. A problem that touches almost everything from action to music and, crucially, story. Overall, Obi-Wan Kenobi does what it sets out to achieve: tell a successful story about Obi-Wan Kenobi in between the parts we already know. It enriches our understanding of the character and fleshes out relationships that weren't given time to be fully explored in the movies. Still, you can't help but feel that with some refinement of the script and streamlining of the intertwining central themes, it could have been something truly special.
Hello there.
Bookended by strong opening and closing chapters, Obi-Wan Kenobi bridges the gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope to a satisfying effect. Ewan McGregor drives the show through a muddled middle third towards a thrilling conclusion worthy of making it into the pantheon of great Star Wars moments. The action swings between dull and exciting, and the script leaves a little to be desired in places, but ultimately, it's a notable entry into the ever-growing Star Wars canon. For more Obi-Wan, check out our spoiler-filled review of the season finale. And for everything else, stick to IGN.